Hi there guys, what's going on? My name is JellyBellyJoe and today I'm back with another video for you guys. Now today we're looking at Titanfall. Now Titanfall was the game that I finally got beta access to. It took me for goddamn ages to get beta access because I wasn't one of the select few that got it when a lot of people did actually. I know loads of people actually got access to it. But I wasn't allowed access till the 14th. But alas, I managed to still get on it. Pretty much maxed out the beta as a whole, and I'm now doing my impressions reviews a few days later from playing the beta. Now in the beta, if you didn't play the beta, just a bit of background, there's only two maps available in the beta. One of them's a kind of urban city map, and this one's a bit more spaced out. It's probably the most spaced out map that I've seen available on the game as far. But those are the two kind of maps available, which is kind of cool because it kind of gave a lot of different gameplay styles anyway that you could probably learn or adapt to. It is interesting anyway to have a different range of environments and not just have the urban concentration 24/7. Instead you were just you could run around a field if you really wanted to, that type of thing. So that was kind of cool. Only about 5 weapons, 1 SMG, 1 shotgun, 1 carbine, wasn't even really an assault rifle, 1 sniper rifle, 1 pistol which I'm using right now. And that was a primary. I'll explain more about that in a minute if you haven't heard about it, but you probably have. But yeah, I'll just briefly go over it then. This is a smart pistol. The smart pistol locks on. It's brilliant for taking out the kind of cannon fodder on the map, which is like the minions, like the grunts and the spectres, which are just there to be killed really, so you can unlock your Titan faster, etc. And if you kill enough of them, I suppose it could kind of sway the game over in terms of attrition points if you're playing attrition. But generally when it comes to killing players, it's not that good. It's still pretty effective though. You know, if you catch a player off guard and you just lock onto them, it does take a while, but if you manage to keep an eye on them for that long, then you can kill them pretty swiftly and you don't have to worry about aiming, etc. So, Titanfall Beta. Now this is probably, as a beta goes, probably one of the smoothest betas I've ever played. Now, that's probably due to the fact that it's about to come out in a month, but when Battlefield's beta came out, or Battlefield 4 should I say, along with a lot of other games, the betas, I had issues, graphical issues, etc, etc. And for this, I don't believe personally that I ever actually got much of a graphical issue at all. Yeah, there's a few clunks in there to do with mainly the kicking mechanic in the game, but I didn't actually find any real graphical or game-breaking bugs at all. It was actually quite a smooth gameplay experience. FPS was capped at 60, but that was way smooth enough anyway. I don't see the point in me going over that regardless, because I only have a 60Hz monitor, so it wouldn't really make sense. So it was smooth as hell, to be honest with you, and it looks great, it played great, and for a beta that's pretty much all I could ask for, to be fair. Usually I know a lot of people have a lot of expectations going into the beta, but I'm the kind of person that goes in and if I can enjoy myself and have a good time on the beta as a whole, then that really does sway me towards buying the game at the end, because if I can enjoy myself on 2 maps for the duration which I ended up doing so, then it does looks promising if you're gonna put it into that respect when the actual game comes out, because if you've managed to enjoy yourself on 2 maps with a few weapons, then you're probably going to enjoy yourself a hell of a lot more as well when the actual game comes out, and there's a hell of a lot, a ton load more stuff. Now at this point in the beta, I am just fighting in a Titan, as you can see. There's lots of different ways of which you can probably get the Titan a little bit faster. You can use the burnout cards, which you can have once you die. You kill the little minions on the map, which shorten it a tiny bit, but really the best way to help your team out is to kill enemy pilots and kill enemy Titans. One note to say is when the game finally comes out, and I will be getting this game, definitely, no question about it, because it's probably one of the best games I've played this year, and to say it's a beta, that's saying something quite significant. But generally speaking, yeah, you want to kill enemy players and Titans. Now don't underestimate enemy players when you're in a Titan. I've seen so many people do this on the beta already, is they think because the enemy player isn't in a Titan that they're pretty much harmless, etc. Really, you want to be looking out for players, pilots especially. The amount of times I've managed to rodeo and jump on the back and really screw up a Titan is probably near the hundreds mark, for the simple fact that people just don't really pay attention or take care, because, you know, to them it's kill the big robot things, and that's not really the way to go. You want to be careful because the pilots can do a fuck ton of damage, and it's a bit ridiculous how much damage they can do, but it kind of makes sense. You know, there is obviously weaknesses of these big machines, otherwise it would just be stupid, because you'd be able to run around and just blast everything to smithereens, and as a pilot you'd be stuck to killing minions and other pilots on the ground, which would be pretty shit. But this is the hardpoint game mode, in case you didn't realise. So this isn't the normal attrition. Instead, I decided that I'd go for play a bit of hardpoint, really get a mix of the game modes available in the beta. So it was hardpoint, there was attrition, last Titan standing, and then the mosh pit version where it's kind of like a mix of all three. But generally speaking, my favourite was probably attrition. I just recorded this hardpoint gameplay because in the fact that the hardpoint games seem to last a lot longer than the attrition games. So I thought I'd be able to get a good chunk of gameplay out of this without blowing my hard drive up. So that's kind of what I was aiming to achieve with this. But yeah, my choice of weapon, the smart pistol, was generally due down to the fact that I just kind of enjoyed running around, locking on. You know, it was really kind of smooth gameplay. At the same time as enjoying myself and actually having that kind of adrenaline, fast-paced shooter. And for that to kind of, you put a lock-on pistol inside of a game and still have that kind of fast-paced action, is kind of cool, in my opinion. Because it's easy enough if you just stand on a roof, I suppose, and just stand there staring at the open space, hoping to lock onto a player well, for long enough for them to blow up, which, in my opinion, would be a bit boring and not much point in that. But generally, the games, or the beta, should I say, as a whole, the mechanics are absolutely awesome, and it's just fast-paced action 24/7. As the beta, you know, I'm talking about this as if it's the game that's come out, and I'm impressed. I'm impressed for the simple fact that I find it hard to be impressed these days by a lot of games, especially a lot of betas, because they seem to be very rugged, very unfinished and unpolished. But this generally did seem to be near enough a finished product. A few things that needed working on, but generally speaking, you couldn't have really asked for much more. And here I'm just playing cowboy, piggybacking like hell on a range of different Titans. But it is a hell of a lot of fun, and if you're going to look to get this game when it comes out in March the 11th in America or March the 14th in the UK, I'd definitely recommend it. For me personally, I know people's tastes differ, but for me personally, the beta itself was worth the cash. I really did enjoy the beta, and as now you can pre-order it for stupid money, about £27 or something ridiculous, then it'd be kind of crazy not to, in my opinion. But hey, that's just my opinion, and that's kind of my impressions of the whole beta. Really quite fun, really good gameplay mechanics, and as a whole, really, really enjoyable. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you in a bit. It's been JellyBellyJoe.